Hello and welcome. My name is Michelle and I'm excited to do yoga together. I want to go ahead and just kind of jump right in and just start by saying that we're going to do a pretty beginner level yoga. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy, but it's accessible to most everyone. So I'll give you ways to modify, maybe a way to take it a step further if you're feeling like you're doing well. So no matter what, let's all go ahead and get started. So if you don't have a mat, you don't need a mat. The cool thing about yoga is that all you need is your body and your breath. So if you don't have a mat, doesn't matter, you don't need it really. I've got a hard floor, so I prefer it, but I do practice without a mat as well if it's in my car and I'm too lazy to go get it. So I like to just start in child's pose, and we're gonna get nice and warmed up first. So child's pose, you can start with your knees together for a stretch in the low back, or we can do wide knees for more of a stretch in the hips. And we're just going to walk our hands all the way forward. Finding ourselves down on our mat here, and we're going to begin to focus on our breathing. So slow inhales in through the nose, exhales out the nose. And that's Ujjayi breathing. Inhale in through the nose, exhale out the nose. Slow inhales, slow exhales. One more big deep breath in. And on the exhale, I'm going to walk my hands over to the right. So side body stretch, still in child's pose, big deep breath in. And exhale through the center, other side, over to the left. Have a breath while we're here. Bringing it back to the center. I'm going to bring my knees together for this. You don't have to, I just prefer to. And then my arms come down by my sides, palms facing up. Maybe even kind of roll your forehead on the mat. Massage that place between your two eyebrows where we tend to kind of carry stress. One more big deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, I'm gonna lace my hands together behind my back and stretch my shoulders out. So maybe your arms aren't coming all the way up, and that's okay, it doesn't matter. I just like to note that it's never about how deep you're going into a pose. Just that you're meeting yourself at your own personal edge, you're challenging yourself a little bit, you're stretching, you're breathing, and that you're focusing on your spinal alignment, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. So we'll go ahead and rise up. I'm gonna bring it up onto hands and knees. So shoulders stacked right over my wrists, hips stacked right over my knees, tabletop pose. Spreading my fingers really wide. My index fingers are parallel with the long edges of my mat. So just as an idea, and again, if you don't have a mat, that's okay. And then I'm going to focus on crown of the head is one straight line all the way through the tailbone. So you don't want to collapse into yourself here or, be sloppy about it. We want a nice, strong, active tabletop pose, gripping all the way to my fingertips. And here we're going to begin linking our breath with our movement through cat and cow. So inhale for cat, exhale for cow. Inhale, round the spine, drop the head, scared Halloween cat. Exhale, drop the belly, pull the shoulders back, lift the chin for cow pose. One more time, inhale, and exhale. And then finding that nice neutral spine. So we're gonna stretch the shoulders a bit. Inhale, right arm comes all the way up. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling as well. Exhale, thread the needle. So laying down on that right shoulder, and then you can stretch that opposite arm up above the head. You could stay here if you want to. Maybe it feels good for you here. That's okay. I'm gonna take a half bind behind my back, kind of reaching for the opposite thigh, trying to pull my heart open. Big deep breath in. And exhale, gently lifting up out of it. Cat and cow. So I like to start off nice and slow. We'll pick up the pace a little bit and flow through some sun salutations, get a little bit warm, and then stretch our legs out. Let's do one more cat and cow. I always like to kind of reset the spine after a twist. Always being mindful of the spine. I've dealt with a little bit of back pain myself, so inhale, left arm comes all the way up. That sun feels good on my face. Exhale, thread the needle. Laying down on my shoulder. Stretch that arm up above the head if you want to. Maybe take a half bind behind your back. Big deep breath in. And exhale, gently lift it up. Tabletop pose. And we'll cat and cow. Reset the spine after a twist. We'll inhale for cat, exhale for cow. Nice neutral spine. So we're going to go ahead and lower it all the way down onto the belly and kind of stretch the spine out just a bit more. I'm gonna lift up my left foot and step behind me and to the right. And then do the same thing on the other side. So I like to inhale as I roll in the belly. Exhale as I step behind me. Be gentle, slow movements. Maybe have a breath while I'm here. Let's do one more on each side. I think that feels really good. I joke in my classes that I could seriously just do a whole class of this because it feels so good to me. But the thing is that things that feel good for me might feel horrible for you. And then there's some things that feel terrible for me that I have students in my classes that it comes easily to them. So everybody's different. We don't need to look like anybody else or be able to do the things anybody else can do. We're all going to be at a different level. And you just have to honor where your body's at today. And that's okay. So let's go ahead and take Sphinx pose, up on forearms. So we want to check our alignment first. I like to grab onto my elbows, just checking to make sure my shoulders are stacked right over my elbows, and then I bring my hands right out in front of me. So a good way to make sure that we don't have our hands cocked to one side or the other, we want to have nice strong arms. It's going to be a straight line from the tip of your middle finger all the way to the elbow. So just kind of find that alignment, grip to the fingertips, and then we're going to make sure that we're active. Pushing the earth away, drawing the shoulders back, gripping to the fingertips. Big deep breath in here. Our gaze is down and out in front of us. If you can hear my voice change as I look up, and then you can hear my voice change as I completely sink my head down, you can tell when my airway is open, I'm getting enough breath. So that is where my gaze is down and out in front of me. Big deep breath in here. And then exhale, just lift the elbows, seal pose. Big deep breath in. You can feel that in the low back. And exhale back down. That can feel pretty intense. Sometimes be easy on yourself. And just to note, you never want to feel any sharp pain. Now, a little bit of discomfort a lot of times is normal in yoga, but we don't want to be feeling any sharp pain. So if you do, I'd like you to dial back and feel free to always bring yourself back in to child's pose. Have a breath if you need to. Take a break. This is your practice, so feel free to just kind of do what you can, do what feels good. If something's not feeling good for you, I want you to not do that. So I'm going to tip my hands out in front of my shoulders and out to the sides a little bit. So likely your hands are going to be off of your mat. This is spider cobra, so lifting the elbows all the way up to the sky. And before we lift the heart, I want to just melt the heart down into the mat. You can feel that stretch in the fronts of your shoulders. Let's have a breath while we're here. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the nose. And then inhale, just lift the heart barely. So my rib cage is still down on the mat. I'm trying to relax my shoulders away from my ears. Big deep breath in. And then on the exhale, maybe I can go a little higher. Maybe not. It's okay if you don't. I'm going to push it up a little bit higher, lifting my entire rib cage up. So then I want to still have a micro bend in my elbows, relaxing my shoulders away from my ears. Gaze is down and out in front of me. One more inhale. And then exhale slowly, one vertebra at a time, all the way down. Planting my hands underneath my shoulders, hugging my elbows into my rib cage. Big deep breath in to prepare. On the exhale, baby cobra. So just barely lift the heart. We're pressing the earth away with your hands. This is low back. You can feel this in your back, in the mid back. And then our glutes are relaxed. So nice active back. Glutes are relaxed. You can even float your hands here if you wanted to. Baby cobra. One more inhale. And exhale back down. Inhale. We're going to lift everything off the mat all at once. So planting my hands underneath my shoulders, curling my toes under, hugging my elbows into my rib cage. Big deep breath in to prepare. And exhale, lift. Top of a push-up, high plank. And then here we are in a plank. Let's make sure our shoulders are stacked right over our wrists. I want my hands shoulder width distance apart. My feet are hip width distance apart. Nice strong plank. My gaze is down in between both hands. Big deep breath in. And without moving your hands or your feet, you should be able to just send the hips up and back into your down dog. So that's about where your down dog should be. Let's go ahead and start pedaling it out or walking our dog, hanging the head heavy. Relax your shoulders away from your ears, grip all the way to your fingertips. And we're going to begin flowing through sun salutation A. So I like to practice vinyasa yoga. Vinyasa just means to flow. And when you flow, that means we're connecting two or more poses through our breath. So I'm going to walk you through it. It's going to be easy. We'll start off nice and slow. And sun salutation A, I think, is the best place to start in yoga. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming up onto tippy toes, put a big bend in the knees, gazing up to my hands, and you can take baby steps, big steps. You can hop all the way to the top of the mat. Feet come together. Big bend or a micro bend in the knees. Exhale, heavy, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. So we want a nice long straight spine here. I like to even kind of bring my hands onto my knees to make sure I've got that nice, perfect tabletop back. This is a standing tabletop pose. Big deep breath in, gaze is down. And exhale, forward fold, hang the head heavy. On the inhale, roll to standing, one vertebra at a time. Head comes up last. Again, just starting off nice and slow. Standing mountain pose, nice active pose. Grounded in through the feet, tucking the tailbone, lacing the core, relaxing the shoulders. Like you're leaning on that invisible wall behind you. Big deep breath in, arms come all the way up to the sky. Exhale, really gentle standing back bend. So maybe for you, this just means taking your gaze up to the ceiling, breathing here. Maybe you can go back a little further. Inhale to the top. And exhale, dive forward fold. Big bend in the knees, hang the head. So you want a big enough bend in the knees here that you can completely plant your hands down into the mat. And then we're gonna step back to a plank. So feel free to drop the knees here. We don't want to push the hips up, that becomes tabletop pose. So make sure that your knees, hips, shoulders, one straight line. And then we're going to lower down. So we can bend the elbows. You want your elbows to bend behind you. So kind of brushing the rib cage. Lower halfway down, or you could go all the way down. And then we're going to inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, curl the toes under, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Relax your shoulders away, grip to your fingertips. And we're gonna go again, sun salutation A. So coming up onto toes, bend in the knees, gaze to my hands, step or hop to the top of your mat. Exhale, heavy forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, this time we're just gonna go arms all the way to the top, standing mountain pose. Palms meet together above the head. Exhale, standing back bend. Be gentle on yourself here. Inhale to the top. And exhale, dive forward. Big bend in the knees here. Plant the hands, step to plank. Feel free to drop the knees if you need to. I'm just gonna lower halfway down this time, chaturanga or half push-up. And I'm gonna inhale into upward facing dog. Upward facing dog is just my hands and the tops of my feet on the mat. Everything else is floating. I'm not sloppy or collapsing here. So you want to get nice and active. Spreading the fingers wide. Big deep breath in. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Relax the shoulders away. Grip to your fingertips. Let's do that again. So you can do it exactly the same as we did the first time. Nice and slow. You can pick up the pace a little bit. So whatever you want to do, let's travel to the hands. Step or hop. Exhale, heavy, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to the top, standing mountain pose. Palms meet together above the head. Exhale, standing back bend. Inhale, standing mountain. Exhale, dive forward. Plant the hands, step to plank. Vinyasa, or flow. So exhale as you lower. Inhale as you lift the heart. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. I say we do it one more time since we finally got the hang of it. Travel to your hands, step or hop. Exhale, heavy, forward fold. Hang the head, big bend in the knees. Inhale, half lift, nice long straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to the top, standing mountain pose, palms meet together above the head. Exhale, standing back bend. Inhale, standing mountain. Exhale, dive forward. Plant the hands, step to plank. Vinyasa. Exhale as you lower down. Feel free to drop the knees here. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Big deep breaths in through the nose, out the nose. And then let's find a still down dog. So pressing my heels down in towards the mat, relaxing my shoulders away from my ears. So if your heels aren't touching the mat, that's fine, no big deal. We're just pushing our energy that way, hanging the head heavy, allowing your heart to melt towards your thighs, gripping to your fingertips. It's a lot, I know. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, drop the knees, cat and cow. Inhale for cat. And exhale for cow. One more. Nice neutral spine. Curling the toes under, sending the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. We're going to inhale, right leg comes all the way up, three-legged dog. You can bend that leg that's in the air, flex the foot, feel this stretch here. Inhale, straighten that leg out. And on the exhale, we're going to bend the knee, swing it through the body, and step up to the hands. So maybe your foot's not going to make it all the way up there. You can kind of grab your ankle, get your foot up there. That's totally fine. Drop this back knee, and then windmill. Right arm comes inside the right leg, lizard lunge or lizard pose. So checking your alignment, you want to make sure your knee is stacked directly over your ankle, maybe slightly behind. You don't want your knee to be shooting out past your ankle. That's bad news. So scooch those toes up. And if you have the flexibility today, you can even go down onto forearms here. Maybe today you have the flexibility, maybe today you don't, maybe you never will. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you're finding your own personal edge. We're breathing, we're stretching. One more big deep breath in, and we're going to take King Lizard. So peeling my right hand back and bending this leg behind me, reaching for the outside edge of the foot. Maybe you can grab on today, maybe you never will. If you're almost there, you could kind of lift the hips up and grab on and then bring it in. So either way, one more big deep breath in here. Exhale, gently drop that foot back down. Windmill the arm around to the front. Return to frame the foot with the hands. Slide the hips back. Half monkey or half split. So I'm making sure that my hips are stacked over this back knee. Long straight leg in front. And then a lot of times we tend to want to drop our nose to our knee here. So I want you to try to fight that urge. Instead, I want you to draw the shoulders back, lift the chin, nice long neck, and we're going to lead with the heart. I like to point and flex my foot here. I think it feels good. So we can all feel this stretch. I don't care how flexible you are. We can all feel this stretch in the entire back of the leg. Point and flex. Big deep breath in. Now a lot of times I would make us go down into the splits here, but we'll save that for another video. Instead, we're just going to find this deep stretch here in half monkey or half split. Big deep breath in. And on the exhale, send the hips forward. Plant a hand on either side of the foot. Curl the toes, lift the hips, and then I'm going to lay this leg down in front of me. So we're going for pigeon pose here. Now, if you need to bring the heel in towards the body and have the top of the foot down on the mat, that's fine too. This is good. We're trying to square the hips. So pushing this left hip down towards the mat, my back knee and top of the back foot are down on the mat. So you can bring it down onto forearms. A lot of times in this pose, bringing it down onto forearms helps. So the goal here, what we're reaching for one day is this 90-degree angle in the knee and then flexing the foot as well, driving this left hip down towards the mat, pigeon pose. So we want nice square hips. You can feel this in the outside of the hips and into the glutes. One more big deep breath in through the nose here. And on the exhale, let's try to walk the hands in towards the body, upright pigeon. Relax the shoulders away. Maybe you can practice getting your arms up in the air. Or maybe you want to take it a step further and join me. I'm going to try to take king pigeon. So I'm just going to bend this leg behind me and reach for it. So that's pretty intense. I know this is a lot of spinal flexibility that this requires. Pulling that in. Big deep breath in. And exhale, gently drop that foot back down. Plant a hand right under the shoulders. Curl the back toes. Lift the hips. Step to your plank. Send the hips up and back, down dog. We're going to go other side. So while we're in down dog, let's check in with ourselves. Notice the difference in the two sides of the body. How are you feeling? What are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? One side feels nice and flexible. The other side not so much. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Left leg goes up in the air, three-legged dog. Feel free to bend that leg that's in the air. Flex the foot. Try to kick the booty with the heel. Big deep breath in through the nose as we straighten that leg out. Exhale. Step to the hands. Again, feel free, just get your foot up there, whatever you got to do. So left arm comes inside the left leg, lizard lunge or lizard pose. So making sure our knee is over that ankle. You can go down onto forearms here if you have the flexibility. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have the flexibility. I just want you to be feeling a stretch, meeting yourself at your own personal edge and not forgetting to breathe in through the nose, out the nose. One more big deep breath in. And exhale, king lizard. So maybe you can grab onto that foot, maybe not, it doesn't matter as long as you're feeling a stretch. Let's breathe. One big deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, gently drop that down. Bring the arm around to the front, return to frame the foot with the hands, and then slide the hips back, half monkey or half split. Point and flex, lead with the heart, draw the shoulders back. Spend a little bit of time here making sure we're breathing, stretching the entire back side of this leg. It feels good. One more big deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, swing the hips forward, plant a hand on either side, curl the back toes under, lift the hips, and then we're gonna lay this leg down in front of us, pigeon pose. Back knee and top of the back foot are down. You can bring this heel in towards the body if you need to. And then coming down onto forearms. So pushing that right hip down. Our bodies are telling us, roll onto that hip. And that's what feels right to us. We want to roll open, but we're fighting that urge. We're pushing ourselves a little bit here. Yoga is that dance between the push and the pull. So push yourself through this. It's a little bit uncomfortable. That's okay to be uncomfortable sometimes. It benefits us. Pushing that right hip down, trying to square my hips off. One more big deep breath in here. And exhale, walking the hands in towards the body, upright pigeon. Again, this requires a lot of spinal flexibility, I realize that, so challenge yourself. Stay here for a couple of breaths. You can bring it back down. If you want to go a little further, maybe bringing your arms up. That's challenging too, even for me. Or maybe you want to take king pigeon, reaching for this foot behind you. One more big deep breath in. Exhale, drop that foot down, plant the hands, curl the back toes under, lift the hips, step to plank. Let's vinyasa. Remember, that's when we exhale as we lower down halfway. Inhale as we lift the heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog, pedal it out. Inhale in through the nose, and exhale out the nose. Drop the knees. Let's cat and cow while we're here. I like to just be mindful of the spine. Can't hurt us to do it. Nice neutral spine. I'm going to swing my legs to the side now, finding myself on my seat bones. And you guys made it through all the hard stuff. Now is the good stuff, the best part, where we work our way into Shavasana or corpse pose. So I'm just going to windshield back my knees back and forth. Loosen up the hips just a little bit. And then I'm going to scooch up on my mat a little bit. You may or may not need to, doesn't really matter. So you can grab onto the backs of your knees or have your arms out in front of you. We're just going to roll nice and slow all the way down. Pull the knees into the heart and just rock side to side, front to back, baby rocks. Massage the spine and then take a big good morning stretch. Arms go up above the head, extending through the fingertips, extending through the toes. Big deep breath in. And exhale, right knee comes into the heart, squeeze it in tight. Big deep breath in, relax the shoulder blades down onto the mat. And on your exhale, we're going to guide this knee across the body, down to the left side, taking my right arm out to the right side and taking my gaze to the right as well. So a full spinal twist from your neck all the way to your tailbone. A great pose for digestion. Twisting like this massages the organs in your gut, helps you digest. Try to relax your shoulders down onto the mat. Big deep breath in. And exhale, knee comes into the heart as we roll onto our back. Opposite knee follows in. Rock side to side, front to back. Massage the spine. And we're going to go other side. Big deep breath in through the nose as we stretch. Extend through the fingers, extend through the toes, and then left knee comes into the heart. Squeeze it in tight, relax the shoulders down onto the mat. Big deep breath in here. And exhale, twist. Left knee comes down to the right side. Taking my left arm out to the left side and my gaze to the left as well. Full spinal twist. Big deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out the nose. One more inhale. And on the exhale, knee comes into the heart as we roll it onto our back. Opposite knee follows in, side to side, front to back, massage the spine. Big good morning stretch. Extend through the fingers, extend through the toes like you want to grow taller, creating space between each vertebra of the spine. And on your exhale, arms come down by your sides, palms facing up. Allow the feet to drop open for Shavasana or corpse pose. Relaxing your face. Relax your jaw. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Eyes are closed. Relax your neck and shoulders. Focusing only on your breath here. Big, deep breaths in through the nose. Exhales out the nose. Feeling the diaphragm lift and fall. Focusing only on your breathing. If a thought comes to you, let it come. Let it go. Begin to refocus again only on the breath. One more big deep breath in wherever you're at. And let's begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, roll the wrists, roll the ankles. Come back into our bodies now. We're gonna roll over onto a side, using your arm or your hand as a pillow. Eyes are still closed, and I'm just gonna focus on turning up the corners of my mouth and cracking a smile. Finding a grateful place for what my body is able to do. Finding a grateful place for my breath. And thinking of someone that you're grateful for, imagining their face in your mind. Say thank you. Sometimes we forget to just simply say thank you. One more big deep breath in through the nose. And on the exhale, lifting ourselves up gently and easily onto seat bones. Legs crossed in front of you for seated palm tree. Grounding in through my tailbones. Big deep breath in, reaching the arms all the way up to the sky. And on the exhale, side body stretch. So I'm gonna lean to the right. I like to go down onto a forearm here, just as long as you stay grounded in the tailbones. So maybe you're just kind of up on the hand, that's okay, no matter what. Big deep breath in, don't think about how it looks, just think about how it feels. And on the exhale, we're gonna scoop it forward. So tent that hand out in front of you. Hang the head, drop the shoulder. You're gonna feel that stretch travel towards the back. Big deep breath in here. Stay through the exhale. Inhale all the way to the top, palms meet together above the head. And exhale, lean to the left. Side body stretch, don't think about how it looks, just think about how it feels. Big deep breath in. And exhale, scoop it forward. Hang the head, drop the shoulder, stay through the inhale. Stay through the exhale. Inhale to the top. Taking your gaze all the way to the ceiling. And on your exhale, hands come down to prayer at your heart center as we bow our heads for Namaste. Good job, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And just so you know, Namaste just means the light in me honors the light in you. I recognize that we are the same. And honor you on your journey, and I hope that you honor me on my journey. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope to do yoga together again soon, and keep practicing those sun salutations.